My story starts in late 1993, when I noticed I was getting very itchy on parts of my body and limbs. I had recently moved to a new home and thought it was an allergic reaction to my new environment, or perhaps to the soaps that I'd been using. In early 1995, during an annual checkup with my gynecologist, I asked whether my itch may have been due to hormonal changes. He suggested that I have a liver function test. Those test results showed extremely heightened readings, and I was advised to seek specialist advice. I was referred to a gastroenterologist who, after listening to my presenting symptoms, diagnosed my problem to be a life-threatening liver disease called primary biliary cirrhosis. What was happening was that my white blood cells were attacking my healthy biliary ducts. It's not known what causes the disease. However, the likely cause is a breakdown in my autoimmune system. The prognosis was that I would not survive more than 10 years without a liver transplant. Finally, in November 2000, I was referred to the liver transplant clinic at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital to be placed under their care. While I knew Royal Prince Alfred's Hospital's track record in liver transplantation was second to none, I was told by the medical team of the inherent risks associated with the procedure. One or two would not survive getting off the operating table. My family and friends were wonderfully supportive, but knowing that I had to undergo major surgery with the liver transplant, and perhaps facing difficulties with anti-rejection, I felt it was something that I had to do on my own. I knew that I had to remain positive, was not to lose hope, and had to have complete faith in medical science and my medical team. Following my referral to RPA, I had to undergo a comprehensive range of tests to ensure that I was a suitable candidate for organ transplant. Once I was given the all clear on the basis of my test results, I was placed on their activated list and told to expect a phone call at any moment, although it could take months before a suitable donor liver could be found. By mid-2001, and that phone call still hadn't come, my condition had visibly worsened and my quality of life was diminishing. Fortunately, that call from RPA came on the 11th of September 2001, 9/11, a day that dramatically changed me and the world forever. That phone call elicited a range of emotions, from tears of relief that the call had finally come, to feelings of fear and apprehension as to what lay ahead. And finally, to an acceptance of my situation and a realization that I was ready, whatever the outcome. After 4 days in intensive care, I was transferred to the liver transplant ward. 6 days after surgery, I was showering on my own and walking up and down the corridors to get my lymphatic system to work more efficiently and for exercise, and my yellow complexion had gone. While feeling stronger with every passing day, my recovery took longer than expected, and it was 4 weeks before I was finally discharged from hospital. Since my transplant more than 13.5 years ago, despite relatively high doses of anti-rejection medication, which I will be on for the rest of my life, my health has generally been good, although the worsening arthritis has become a nuisance. While there has been some necessary changes to diet and lifestyle post-transplant, I wake each day and think how blessed I am to be alive. More than 7 years ago, I had the incomparable joy of becoming a first-time grandmother following the birth of my darling Isabella. She is my one and only grandchild. In addition to seeing Isabella as much as I can, my life has been full, undertaking weekly Tai Chi and Qigong exercises, attending weekly lectures at the Art Gallery, and for more than 12 years doing some pro bono work every week at the University of New South Wales. I've also been fortunate to have travelled overseas often, including 4 visits to various parts of China post-transplant, and I even visited Antarctica in 2006. I often think of my donor family and the great sacrifice that they made in donating the organs and tissues of their loved one, and for that I am eternally grateful. By their generous and gracious gesture, I have been given the ultimate gift of another chance to live a productive and healthy life. It has been stated that about 1,115 Australians received an organ transplant last year. However, my connection is with Royal Prince Alfred, and their latest available statistics show that only 66 adult liver transplants were performed in 2013. And currently, there are about 50 people on their activated waiting list. Those awaiting organ and tissue transplantation are totally dependent on the generosity of organ donors and their families. While I appreciate and am sensitive to the difficulties for some of us with Chinese ethnicity to talk of one's end of life, I implore you to put this discomfort aside and let your wish to donate your organs be known to your loved ones. Perhaps the time to do this is during a time of general family discussion, or maybe when you're drawing up a will. This, to me, is a better option than when your loved ones may be forced to make a rational decision when they are emotionally stressed or traumatized, as is generally the case in an emergency situation. As I stand before you as evidence of one family's brave and courageous decision, I urge you to put your name on the organ donation register and let your loved ones know of your wish, so that on your passing, your family, knowing your wishes, can give the ultimate gift of life to an ever grateful recipient and receive the immeasurable gratitude of their loved ones. Again, thank you for listening to my story.